Okay, so I wanted to take a minute to go over Module 1's assignments with you, just to make sure that everybody is kind of looking at the right thing and doing the right thing. So I'm in the content area, and I scroll down and click on Module 1 Essential Computer Concepts. And as you look through this, you'll see at the beginning of the module, there are kind of the overview of what you're going to be learning in this module. And to be totally honest with you, I usually just skip those. This read view section has all of the things that you need to read and view. So this one, where it has just a web page, it's just extra exploration notes or things that we've written for you that, for instance, Sway app, you know, from the discussions that we are working on the Sway app. And then back here, I'm going to go back. These are all the kind of the SAM training. And as you can see, like this one just says Managing Your Files Module 1. When you click on that, that's going to take you into the textbook. So this is where you can go through that entire module about managing files. And this directly relates to the project that you'll be doing this week. So make sure that you read this entire, what we consider a chapter. And technically in the real book, it's actually a section of the chapter. It kind of frustrates me that it doesn't have chapter numbers anymore. So you're going to just go through this whole section. And then back here, I'm going to go back to this module 1. You also have things that are the SAM training, and these are kind of hands-on. They have some videos, they have some little mini 5-question quizzes to help you learn. Those SAM trainings for now in Module 1 are not graded. They're just going to help you out so that when you actually get to the assignments, so you can see this is the read view section, and then the assignments, which because I'm in Module 1, I can see the assignments here. But if I want to focus, I can go to assignments here. And those are going to directly relate to your success in the exams for Module 1, which there are 3 different exams. And you can see that there's a Managing Your Files exams, which goes with that Managing Files section of the chapter, and then also the SAM training. And same thing, this has a chapter in training and a chapter in training. So each of these exams, take those when you're ready. If you really know a lot about computers, you can probably jump into this exam and do fine. But it's better if you go through the training in the chapter just to be sure that you know what you're doing. Also, we have these 2 discussions. And this assignment information, that's a good way for you to come and learn more about taking the SAM training videos and what the pretest after Module 1. They'll give you a pretest, and if you pass it, then you don't really have to do any more SAM training. But if you pass some of it, you don't have to do the ones you passed, but the ones you didn't pass, it'll come up with customized training for you, and you'll have to go through that and do all of the apply section before you're allowed to take the post test, which is the exam. So make sure you read this. It also talks about how to do SAM projects, and then there's a difference between a SAM project, which is in our actual SAM training, and then there's D2l Capstone projects, and that's what I and other instructors who have built this class, this is the capstone project that we have created to help make sure that you understand a major concept in that chapter or many major concepts from that chapter. So let's go back to this assignment section. You can see I use those little breadcrumbs up there to get me to where I want to go. So I'm still in Module 1. But in the SAM exercises, we just talked about the exams, and then we have this D2l Capstone Project. So this is going to overview the project for you. And notice it'll say something like managing files _ list.doc, which is attached. And it's basically saying this company has a bunch of files, and there's like 250 of them just sitting in a folder, and everybody's getting confused because that's a lot of files. And so you, being the person who's charged with organizing these files, you have to come up with a system and basically demonstrate what that system would look like. So as you can see, it says attached right here, and you would think you could click here, but that's not the case. It's right down here. It's a Word document. So you can click this and download it, or you can click it and view it here. Now by downloading it, if I click in here, I can come in here and download it, and then I can open in Microsoft Word so I don't have to retype all of this stuff. So let's go over some concepts with this particular project. It's basically saying that you have a little kind of preview of the files that you'd be organizing. We don't want you to organize all 250. And it's basically saying all of these files relate to 2 projects. The Smith project on 89 Douglas Street, completed in November 2001, and then the Tasha Jian project on 299 Durain Court in August 2004. So as you can see, it gets a little confusing because it's a Smith residence, Smith project proposal, then there's the budget, then there's the revised budget, then there's a appliance manual, and we're like, okay, which one does this go with? Does it go with this Tasha Gian project or the Smith project? I would probably say the Smith because it's 1999 over here, and Smith project got done in 2001. So, or does this appliance manual even matter in that project? So you need to read the instructions for this project, but basically it's saying, how would you organize this? And you could do a couple of things. You can say, okay, each project needs to start with a project name. So instead of saying Budget Smith, it should say Smith so that all of Smith's stuff is in a row. But there are a lot of people named Smith. So how else do we distinguish that? Now, there are not a lot of names Tasha Gian, so that wouldn't be a concern for that project, but for Smith, it definitely is going to be. So maybe you tell everybody they have to put the project name and they have to put the project location following the name. So Smith hyphen 89 Douglas hyphen and then whatever this file is. Residence, PowerPoint, proposal, budget, revised budget, etc. And then maybe each project or all the projects are organized by year. So all the projects for 2001 are in the folder called 2001, and you really have to figure that out. Sometimes it's harder to find things like I don't remember what project I did, or I remember I did a project, but I don't necessarily remember what year I did it in. So is that the best way of organizing? And that's what you have to decide. And if you come back to the instructions over here, it's going to say you're going to look through those files and you're going to tell us how does it need to be organized, and then you're going to organize those files for us. And then you're going to write rules for everybody else in this company saying, okay, you should always put it in a folder with a project name. It should always have the project date at the end of the folder name, whatever the case may be. And you also need to tell us what can we delete out of those files? What things don't matter in those files? If we have an old map of a county and a new map of a county, do we really need the old map of the county? I don't know. You tell us. And there's not really a right or wrong answer in that regard, because as long as you have a reason for why you would keep it or why you would delete it, then you're good to go. So make sure you read through these instructions and answer the questions that are asked for you, and that you give us a plan for organizing for the future of this company. So that's what you need to do for Module 1. The graded things are 1, the discussion using the Sway app, and then you have 3 exams, and then you have this Module 1 Capstone Project. And again, you can download the file. Oops, I didn't mean to submit that, but you can download the file underneath the Capstone Project instructions there. And remember, you can click here and download. So if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm excited to see how you guys organize these files.